It's considered the largest airborne survey of the Earth's polar ice. The 6-year NASA mission is yielding a 3-dimensional view of both the Arctic and Antarctic ice sheets. Reporter Patricia Villone has more on the program known as the IceBridge.
And this ice, the open water area that starts to exist here, is then replaced by new and young ice. So this is why we see an increase in sea ice in the Antarctic that we cannot expect to see in the Arctic.
Thurston Marcus is describing some of the dramatic shifts in the Earth's ice that have been documented in the last 9 years. It was in 2003 that NASA first launched the Ice Cloud and Land Elevation Satellite, or ICESat. Scientists at Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt immediately noted rapidly changing features of the Greenland and Antarctic ice and began planning for a second satellite, ICESat-2, set to launch in 2016. But the data was deemed so critical that NASA decided to conduct airborne flights to bridge the data gap, creating a program known as IceBridge.
The changes in the Arctic, especially in the Arctic, are so profound that we cannot afford not monitoring, continue to monitor the Arctic and the Antarctic. So NASA then dedicated a certain amount of money to continue those measurements. We don't have satellites, but we can use aircraft to measure at least the key regions where those changes are taking place.
The satellites measure the height of ice sheets and thickness of sea ice in both polar regions using laser pulses. With the flyovers, every March and April since 2009, scientists have studied the Arctic, and in October and November, they researched the Antarctic. Additional airborne flights from IceBridge help create a long-term record of elevation measurements and more.
The increase in Antarctic sea ice over the last couple of decades is not a big surprise. It can be explained. It's not that we are puzzled. Why is the Antarctic sea ice not decreasing as the Arctic is? It makes very much sense why this is happening. And it has to do with the different positioning of land and ocean. It has to do with the different processes that are happening in Antarctica compared to the Arctic.
From Greenbelt, Patricia Villone, CTV News.
And other smaller airborne surveys around the world have also been part of the IceBridge campaign.